So we're gonna have two teams going through this session for us. And just quickly before we get started, just a couple questions. People have already asked me, the mini bands, you see them, Perform Better. Okay, so performbetter.com. You can go on the website, you can call them. Very easy to get your hands on them, very inexpensive. They have yellow, green, blue, black, so you can start off very basic and then you can work with just having a little bit different resistance with that. The other question that I was asked a couple times is that with the mini bands, they're saying, oh, look, it's pulling them into that position, okay, that position of dysfunction. What we're really trying to do with the mini bands is trying to explain to them how we do not want them to be in that position and being able to get out of that position. So hold that better position so you're actually using the hips, okay, to actually hold that proper position, so we're actually activating the glutes, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. This session we're going to be focusing on multi-directional improvement, okay? So multi-directional speed. And so earlier we talked about the linear plane going straight ahead, okay? So now, you know, in soccer, there's a lot of stuff side to side. And then when you look at athletes that are very dynamic, very athletic, especially in the game of soccer, they can move side to side extremely well, be able to get in and out of their cuts, be able to move side to side in general extremely well. So we're going to go ahead and focus on that right now, okay? So thanks to both teams here. We're going to go ahead. You got different skill levels, so this is going to be awesome. So thank you guys very much for doing this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go with some glute activation again, all right? So now we're going to use the mini bands. So again, we talked about that good base position, being able to sit through the hips a little bit, unlock and soften the knees, and being able to make sure those knees are right over the center of our feet in this view right here, okay? And making sure we have that good posture again, all right? Not rounding out the back, the knees not diving in, the feet turning out, all those kinds of things that we talked about earlier. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take it side to side. So again, you can start with your hands on your hips, okay? Or you can go ahead and start moving those arms if you're able to get that coordinated and working well. So again, sometimes it's just too much. Guys, you know, athletes, females, whatever it might be, they start adding the arms in it and they just can't figure it out, so you break it up and then you bring the arms back into it. So out of this position, what I want you to do is you're going to go ahead and take a step to your right and then you're going to take a step back to your left. Now, as you do this, okay, before you get started, what we want to do is make sure that we don't reach, okay? We don't want to reach into this movement. Remember I talked about this earlier, many soccer players and many team sport athletes, they are pullers as opposed to pushers when they move. Okay, so what we want to do is make sure in this position that you are driving and leading with that trail leg. Okay, so you'll lift up that inside foot, you won't reach it out, and you will actually drive through that hip. Okay, so now as I go back where I came from, I will lift this right foot and then move back, okay, where I came from, driving through that left hip. And now just simply hands on hips, if we keep it real simple, just going back and forth. Can we maintain that position? Now can we get the arms working as we go as well and keep that coordinated as we go from side to side? So go ahead, gentlemen, going ahead side to side. Let's see, where are they looking at? Are they looking straight down? Are they losing that posture? These are some of the things that we would like to make sure we remind them of, that they're doing this well. And hopefully as they go side to side, they're not hiking their hip. They're moving their shoulders. They're doing all this in the middle of their body. They're able to stay compact, keeping the hips and the shoulders nice and square to the ground, making sure we're using our glutes again. All right? So now simply in this position, you're going to go out 10 yards for me, just stepping and moving. Okay? You guys will be doing the same thing, coming the opposite direction. So now lifting that inside foot and driving with that trail hip as we go and try to keep that good position. So here we go. Bring it out. You have to go at 10 yards for me. Try not to reach, try to push with the trail hip, try to keep that posture, try not to hike the hip and the shoulder, and do one of these as we go through the movement. Again, you should be feeling your glutes having to work, and again, I will talk about this. It's not necessarily what we're looking for is glute strengthening, we're looking for glute activation. So now we're going to go ahead and go into some of the dynamic flexibility stuff. First one we're going to do is we're going to go into a forward lunge, elbow to instep, okay? So we're going to do this in place first. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take a big, nice, long step, keep the chest tall. You're going to really focus on trying to keep the back leg straight, the back straight, and now you're going to bring one hand down, so opposite arm, opposite leg, bring that hand down, and now you're going to bring that elbow just inside that knee. Okay, from that position right there, we're going to hold, pause that. So again, if I give you a side view, we're trying not to round out the back and then bend that back knee. We're trying to keep that nice and straight, lock it in, get that stretch through the hips. And then we'll come back up with bringing the toe up to the knee and then get that stretch on the hamstring. Then we'll go back, hold, and then hamstring. Hold, and then hamstring. So go ahead, we'll pick one side, step it out. So you're putting that opposite hand down on the ground to be able to provide some balance. So if you got your right leg out, you got your left hand out, and you go ahead, you're just going to pause, hold it in that position for a second, and then now you're going to bring that hand on the outside, and we'll go right to the hamstring, and then bring it back, pause, hold, and then go to the hamstring. So we're looking for a controlled movement, not ballistic, not too fast, not too slow, controlling in and out of the movement. Okay, we're trying to get a general opening up of the hips. We're also getting that hamstring, as we know. Soccer players, it likes to act up on us quite a bit. Okay, so just going through the movements. Give me roughly 5 on each side, gentlemen. Then when you finish, you can go ahead and switch it out. We'll go to the other side. Same thing. Pause, and then bring it up. Pause, and then bring it up into that hamstring. Okay, now with that, we'll go ahead and just take a few steps forward. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and step into it. And now out of that position right here, you're going to pause, hamstring, and then I'm just going to have you crawl into the next one. Pause, and then hamstring, and then stay low, crawl into the next one, and you're going to bring it out roughly 10 yards. So here we go. Same thing. Step it out. And then they'll crawl it out into the next one, really opening it up. Try to stay low, use those hands, crawl into the next one so you're not trying to drive out of it. Try to keep that good posture, use that pillar or that core, center of your body. Okay, so we're going to lateral lunge next, so we're going to go ahead and do it in place. So very simple. What you're going to do from this position, you're going to go ahead and step out. Now what I want you to do is sit through that hip. We're going to get that stretch on that trail leg, and we're going to activate this whole single leg stability emphasis right here. Then you're going to go ahead and drive back up, and then you're going to step back into the same side. You can put your hands on your hips, or you can bring your hands out in front of you just to be able to get a little bit more emphasis to be able to sit through the hips. Okay, and you're going to go ahead and give me 3 of these. Are their hips, their shoulders, their feet, are they all square and facing to me? Are they wanting to turn out and getting into this reaching or pulling movement that we see so much in common? Can they be able to hold that alignment? Good. So now to progress this, we've done some stuff in place. Now we'll go ahead and move it. So now as everybody's facing to the audience, we're going to go ahead, and now you guys will go to your right, you'll go to your left. We're going to go ahead and just step it out, okay? And now you're going to go ahead and come back up. See if you can manage that good balance so it's not doing all this with your body, trying to maintain, stabilize that, drive back up. So here we go, out roughly about 5-10 yards. Go ahead. Step it out. Sit through those hips. Good. So now we're going to go ahead and emphasizing kind of that more lateral or side-to-side plane. We're going to go into what we call a drop lunge, okay? So now what we're going to do, again, this is takes a little coordination, takes a little time for a lot of people to be able to kind of get the flow of this one, but again, it works in that side-to-side plane. So if you have a lead foot, say it's your right foot, left foot's back about a half a step, and now you're going to go ahead and bring it shoulder width, okay? You're on the toes of the back foot. Okay, you're not too close with that back foot because you won't have any room for your knee behind you. So it's roughly about a foot back. Then bring it shoulder width. And now what I want you to do is just staying in that same position. Toes, knees, hips, shoulders all facing straight ahead. Now you're going to go ahead and sit through that lead hip and then drive back up. So hands can come out in front of you. Hands can be on the hips. Again, a lot of athletes will have this problem. They won't be able to manage and hold on to that position. So now go ahead and give me 3 on one side. Okay, and then you'll switch it out and give me 3 on the other. So just being able to bring it down, bring it back up. Do they have the balance? Do they have the coordination? How are we working on that stability, that flexibility, all that stuff all together at once? Again, first time, so some of the athletes finding it all right, no big deal. You know, just more of a general warm-up, just getting everything working. For other athletes, it's going to be more of, hey, this is a little bit of a strength component going on, a little bit more of a coordination component going on. It's all good. We want to make sure that we just keep making sure we emphasize the points and carry those across. So now, we're going to go ahead now and do that moving. So everybody will face towards the audience, and now what you're going to do is you're going to step forward. So you guys will step forward with your left, and then you'll slide your right in, back, and behind. Okay? Then you'll step slightly forward and slide that right in, back, and behind. Okay? Can you be able to do this now, coming in and out of this position, moving? All right? Go ahead, take it out roughly 5-10 yards. Good. All right, gentlemen. Now we'll go ahead and take it to the next one. We're going to go into a hand walk, okay? So we'll go ahead and do it in place first, okay? Makes it real easy. Okay, so what you're going to do is bring yourself into this position, so you can wait first and then you guys can go. So right here, good solid push-up position. This is not easy for some athletes. They'll be in this position and their hips will be dropped like this, okay? or their hips are up like this, okay? We want to be able to get that good plank position. So from here, we're now going to go ahead and walk the feet into the hands, keeping the back straight. We'll go as far as we can until we feel that stretch in the calves and the hamstrings, okay? And then what we do is just step it back out into that position. Come back through again, hold it for a second or two, and then we step it back out, okay? So go ahead, bring yourself into a push-up position, activating the center of your body, staying nice and tall, nice and straight, and thinking about bringing the hips straight up to the ceiling. So here you go, 3 of them for me. Walk those hands into the feet, and then you'll just step back, reset. Make sure those hands are right underneath the shoulders, and then you go back through it again. Just ankle walk it, nice, short steps, legs are staying straight. Just 3 of those. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and take it forward. So now we're going to start to integrate the upper and lower, okay, a little bit more. So out of this position right here, you'll start in that push-up position. You're going to walk your feet to your hands, and now you're going to take your hands away from your feet. So now we're getting a little bit more stability, okay, in the actual upper half of our body. Can we minimize that rotation? Can we be able to bring that through, keep that good pillow position, not rounding out the back, and get that good stretch? So go ahead, give me 3 of those, gentlemen. You're going to just walk it out. So ankles to hands, then walk your hands out, reset, and do it again. You're going to pause for a second at end range just to feel that good stretch, and then you'll bring it back out, making sure you're active through the center, using that pillar, using the core. Good. Once you finish that out, you can just shake out your legs, walk it back where you started.